There comes a moment in a man's life when he has to say, enough is enough. This is the end. This is the line. And for us, this is the line too for the Nice Guy Show. And we've been doing this for several years. We started off, Chuck and I, and then Ari joined us. And, we've been really putting a lot of time and effort into this. Every week we've been throwing out some podcasts, but we realized that it hasn't gone the way we wanted to go. And just like most nice guys, they struggle with ending things, ending a bad relationship, or even ending a relationship that's not even terribly bad, but it's dull or it's empty or it's dead. And it's just that numbing relationship. And most nice guys tend to just drag, and hopefully they'll end up fixing it, figuring out a way. But like Albert Einstein said, insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. So guys, welcome to it's sad for me to say, the final episode of the Nice Guy Show. I'm joined with Ari and Chuck. Guys, this is it. I mean, we started this 3 years ago, and
I
now
think
it's
it was
time to
more
say goodbye.
like 4, because you and we recorded a whole bunch of shows that we never published because we were just practicing.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that part. We
Right.
forgot the warm-up. We did like 30 episodes.
We did. And then we realized that they were pretty bad. So someday people will find those in the non-released Nice Guy shows. We'll put out a DVD or something, but
that's the box set for people who still buy box sets. And then so I was the third in the relationship. I was the
we opened up the podcast. Yeah. We opened it up. Should we invite someone in our relationship? Should we have a third person
to spice things up? Yeah.
Well, originally we had Ari on as a guest, and I think the vibe was really good. And then Faisal and I afterwards were like, "Hey, maybe we should bring him in as a third, because we both really connected with you and connected with the vibe that you had, and you were doing the same thing that we were doing in terms of like nice guy coaching." So yeah, and I think that really was sort of the next step in our evolution was bringing you in, and for all intent and purpose sake, it's been that was the right choice. Yeah. So, but
I'm grateful. I'm grateful for this.
Yeah.
Me too. Because I think as a producer, because it's easy to get lost in consumption of lots of content, but meeting here every Monday, it allowed me to see something else that I wouldn't see. Just have a different conversation, how you guys tackle different problems. I mean, most of the time we kind of get on, but sometimes we have different opposing views. And that was really helpful to me as well. And hopefully that was helpful to the audience as well, that, we gave them real life examples. But obviously we're not reaching enough guys that do need the help. So yeah, we were stopping this, and then maybe we might come back, reinvent, as you were saying just Chuck a minute ago, the butterfly emerging, the caterpillar emerging, hopefully not into a moth. Right?
Yeah. And I think that just to kind of give everyone kind of a behind the scenes, the three of us are going to continue to meet. We've formed Brotherhood here, and we've formed, basically our own little men's group. So we're going to continue to meet. We're just not going to record those, because I think one of the things that the recording does is it puts us into kind of a container, into a box, and then we have to sort of stay on track. And what I think the three of us have learned is that when we're not recording, we really have a lot of fun, and there's a lot of banter and back and forth. So, but when we're recording, we all of a sudden we have to be in performance mode, and when we're in performance mode, then it sort of loses a little bit of that luster. Not always. I mean, there's often times where we, sort of break into that less performative side. But nevertheless, we all know that we're speaking to you as opposed to like speaking to each other. So we're going to continue our relationship. We're just ending our relationship with you. And like Faisal said, we may be back. We may be back. We don't.
With popular demand.
If there was enough demand, if there's enough people in the streets begging for the return of the Nice Guy Show, we'll see. But, or maybe it'll be something completely different. We're going to.
Well, not too different.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want to complete cosmetic surgery and say, hey, we come back.
Well,
we're going to talk about cars.
Oh, yes. Can we? See, that reminds me of the guy I met, and I met him in a casino, and he was like 84 years old. He looked very young. And I said, what's the secret of life? He said, music, women, and booze. I was like, fantastic. What about cars? He said, yeah, definitely. All of that. I was like, this guy's got to do it. It's like George Best said, he said, I spent all my money on fast cars, fast women, and fast booze, and I wasted the rest. Anyway, bringing this conversation back.
What's the secret of life? Being an old man in a casino, pulling the arm.
Well, I think we were talking about earlier that nice guys tend to keep going with things way past their sell-by date, whether it's a marriage or sometimes a job or a friendship or even like a hobby that they've just kind of lost steam with, but they keep going because I think they're supposed to, or they don't want to disappoint another person. And they just kind of bury themselves. And so that was something that we didn't want to do. And we always talk about how we're doing with each other and how we're feeling about the show, what we want for the show. Like we've kept up. I think this is one of our successes, actually, is that we've done a really good job of talking about our relationship, both personal and professional, I think. So that, that's one of the things that I've gotten out of the show. Like, I actually think we should talk today about things we've gotten out of the show too. Not that we've just hit a wall.
Which is a typical nice guy thing, isn't it? Going, this is the wall, this is the negative, but it's nice that you bringing that balance back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Even, like your marriage. I've got a lot out of my marriage. And it was really important that I found the good, found the gold in my marriage. But that doesn't mean it was worth keeping.
Yeah.
Not that it was up to me.
I don't see this as a failure at all. I see this as a success in many, many levels. We did something. We created something out of nothing, and we've got 126 videos that we've done over the course of the last several years. I mean, that's some hours and hours of our, combined expertise. And I think that's one of the good of the show is that, we've all learned from each other. We've all gotten, I think, there's been those times where we've challenged each other and we've grown. And then there's been those times where we've just sort of like gleaned new information that we hadn't known before. So it's been as much of an educational experience for us, I think, as hopefully for the people that have listened to the show. And I know there's a few of you who listen to the show or watch the show pretty regularly. And, that's one of the one of the things of not wanting to disappoint people. We'll keep going on because there are a few of you who do sort of give us feedback and watch more regularly, and we appreciate that. We really do appreciate the, the people who have been consistent and listening to us and watching us and giving us some feedback. So, but yeah, for me, I think um, it's been a success overall. But like Faisal was saying earlier, just because something is a success doesn't mean that it comes to an end. I mean, it never comes to an end. And every relationship on a long enough timeline, somebody's going to leave. And that's why we want to do this. We want to do it well. We want to end well. So
Yeah. Everything living, everything that lives also dies. Everything that we've created, people create, this relationship connections, it will all come to an end. And the sooner we accept that as well, the more we can start to maximize this as well. And this is a great lesson also, looking back at my relationships. I mean, how many times do we drag on a relationship or something that we kind of procrastinate within? So, I should end this relationship. I know it's never, but, and all this guilt starts coming in, and then we start to rationalize something. It's like that pebble in your shoe, right? You're trying to convince yourself, no, it'll be okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But that irritation, that feeling will never go away until you take that pebble out. I remember I had a relationship where deep down, my heart wanted to end. But guilt, shame, what would people say? But we've invested so much, but we get on, but we laugh, but this and this. There were so many things trying to convince me. Well, actually, it says you can do whatever you want to convince the heart, but the heart cannot be convinced through logic. The heart wants what it wants. And to me, deep down, it was true. I didn't want that relationship. But I just kept dragging and thinking. And then in that time, she was just getting annoyed and losing that momentum, losing the energy. And so there was no leadership in that. And that correlates so much with everything we do in life, whether it's business, work, hobbies, kids, projects, knowing when to end. And I think great leaders, successful people quickly know when to, right, okay, it's time to close. So it's time to let go of the good for the better to come in. And that's a quote that really stuck with me. Even though it's good, let the good go for better to come in.
yeah, that reminds me of a metaphor I learned a long time ago, and that was that the monkey swinging through the forest has to let go of the vine behind him in order to move forward.
Oh yeah, I like
You
that.
know? Yeah, and if we're holding onto the vine in front of us and the vine behind us, then we get stuck. So you have to let go of something in order to move forward sometimes. And I think that's where I think we're at, you know. But
I
I don't
love
know.
the quotes. You guys got a good
Yeah,
quote game.
Quote game.
Quote game.
I think I was listening to Les Brown, and Les Brown
Speaking
is
of
a
quotes,
huge, yes, he's a huge motivational speaker. And one of the things that I learned from him when he was in London, I was looking after an event that he was at. So that's a big responsibility to have this big name come to London, and I'm managing the whole crew, the whole team there. And I remember one of the things he said is never tell a story without a point, and never make a point without a story. And then he says, go and learn 100 quotes that will move you, change you, resonate with you.
So you got 100 quotes just in your bank,
I've
ready
got
to go?
three. I've got three. I just need 97 more. Don't nice guys have poor memories? I'm noticing that recently. So I went to a networking event. I actually went to
Slow learners and quick forgetters.
They
and I
can
quote.
be. Yeah, they
Yeah.
can be. But so I went to this art gallery. This artist I know, she said, "Look, can you come to this art exhibition I have?" So I was there, and there's some really cool people. This is in the middle of central London, and we're in this funky place. Really cool vibe going on. And after COVID, what I noticed was my social and interactions had really reduced. And one of the things I noticed was that when I was talking to people, I quickly forgot their names. And I was like, cry, because before COVID, I was on it. I remember a time there was 6 people I just met, and I remembered every single person's name. And this other 7th person came in, and I was like, oh, this is this, this is this. And someone said, wow, you're really good at remembering the name, because I made a real effort to be consistent with this.
Do you use a mnemonic device?
No, I just put a name tag on them. Just got you there. Here you go. Stick it on. I don't have any kind of tactic or something to remember people's names. I just keep reiterating their name.
Well, thanks for the tip.
Well, that was a
That's what
completely
that's what she said. Yeah.
That's it. Having a story without a point. Yeah, the point is learn people's names. Yeah. So, what are some of the things that you guys, I don't know, will miss?
I mean, this is sort of something I'll miss, but like, it's more something I'm grateful for. Just like as much as it can feel like pressure each week to create an episode or even multiple episodes, like we do a lot of creative work with that pressure, and that's gotten me to really trust my own ideas more, and to be more vulnerable in a public way, to share more of myself. So I'm not going to stop doing those things, but like I appreciate having had this opportunity to do it and do it with you guys, because you guys are both really creative people that have influenced me, in your own ways. So that's something I'm going to miss.
Yeah, I agree. I think the structure of creating something, like Ari said, there was a point where there was pressure, and you had to force yourself. So that was some way, in a way, good stress. So I quite enjoyed that stress as well. But I realized that it was getting to a point where that stress was then becoming an annoyance, and it became like, it became one of those long-term relationships where there is no appreciation for it. It's like, just like a drag. And then it felt like a chore. Then it actually felt like I was accessing my creative parts into it, because there was so many things going on around in our own world that this just felt like, okay, well, we're not getting those results that we want. We're not getting the momentum. We're not growing. We're not seeing the things that we wanted to see, the benchmarks. And then we had to, so yeah, I will miss the part where we were just getting structured and organized in that as well. And some of the topics, I'm going to miss some of the topics, because we had some pretty cool topics. You're talking from the dead bedroom to cheating with Dr. Glover to high standards to the walkaway wife syndrome as well. And the stories. I am definitely going to miss your anecdotes and the stories as well.
Yeah. I think one of the things that I learned from this, as well as my own work, my own podcast, my own YouTube channel, was how to talk and be a little bit more conversational without getting stuck in my head. And sometimes I think, like, when I look back on some of those early videos, I'm like cringing because, I'm just, I don't know. You are your own worst critic, and I am I am that of me for sure. But I feel like the work that we've done has improved quite a bit, from when we first started doing this to where we're at now. Just the ability to be able to have conversations and to be able to speak without stammering or getting stuck on my words, just like that,
As
um,
much.
as much. Yeah. So, yeah. And then kind of just, getting to see myself on camera or on a video, consistently having to watch myself. As cringy as it was also been very helpful and beneficial in terms of being able to just interact with other people.
It's strong shame work as well, because you have to think, you're putting yourself out there, you're putting your stories out
Oh,
there, your beliefs, the way you think, and
yeah.
it's open to ridicule, it's open to criticism, it's open to
Mhm.
people judging you. So it's tough. And one thing you guys said as well is that when we're on screen and when we press the record button, we kind of like shift into performance. Uh, this is exactly the kind of conversation I had with my client today. I was like, what is it like when you're being authentic connection to performance connection? What is it that you're doing in either? And I think still it shows that we're still human beings, even though we're coaches in this, we still are impacted by a lot of the constraints that everybody else is. It's like we haven't got this completely nailed down perfect either. We're still working our way through our own challenges, our own fractures, our own nice guy syndromes, and sometimes they will show up. And it's just like even the environment. I mean, like today, I feel it's a lot more relaxed. I'm not as screening
Mhm.
myself as much, or filtering myself, or holding back, or I'm like, okay, this has been recording. This is the way to show up. So it's more like the pressure's off. Just like, hey, just shoot the shit, speak, give some banter. Because a lot of guys do end up performing when they are on a date or with somebody because they would want to be judged, make themselves look foolish or fail.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, this has been an important part of my nice guy recovery is just like getting over myself every week and putting myself out there. Even if like, I think one of the hard things for me was if I don't know as much about a topic or I don't have a clear opinion about it and just being okay with that, being okay with the uncertainty, being okay with figuring things out while we're recording, being okay being a learner. So those are all things that I've practiced uh, during during the show. Um, so I really appreciate that. Um,
Yeah.
Is there
Uh,
any episodes you were thinking, oh gosh, I wish that didn't go out? Is there anything that comes to your mind, or the ones that you're like, I'm really proud of that one? I'm just trying to see if there's anything that was there anything for
oh,
you guys.
there's loads of moments where I felt like, ugh, but yeah,
just
no, I
yeah.
felt like the walkaway wife syndrome, which was
That was a good one.
a little while ago. That's something that I realize I'm an expert on. But but it was also it was a topic that we really connected on. We all connected on and it resonated with the audience too. So I felt like that was an example of things really coming together and you don't actually know which episodes are going to really
Yeah.
connect with people. That's been an interesting thing. Like we had Eric Everhard on
Mhm.
a little while ago. And I thought that was a great episode and really interesting things came out of it. And it's like conversations with like a real porn star, not just a porn star, but someone who's really evolved as a person.
Mm,
Um, but I don't think that blew up.
yeah.
Just as an example.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a frustrating thing, isn't it? Something that uh, as myself making YouTube videos and getting into this as well. So in my own YouTube channel, I see there's a video I remember posting. It was about 5 minutes long. It was about keeping things simple. And I just recorded off the cuff, put it online. And I thought, oh, this is crap. What? Who would want to watch this? It's pointless. And I'm making a lot of speaking mistakes in it. And I was like, let me delete this. But I hadn't gone on to deleting it. And then next thing you know, it's just like taken off. And you're thinking, what? So sometimes you always don't know. You don't use your perfectionist mind, your ego can sometimes fool you thinking this is the way to do it. This is the right way. And then sometimes you go and try that way. It doesn't work out. And then sometimes the thing that you think is not going to be the most effective or useful works out to be the most useful or productive thing. So it's just one of those life experiences.
Yeah, it's humbling to put out creative work.
Yeah,
And
not
you
too
don't
long.
know what's going to connect with people. It's like artists who put out albums and they put their heart and soul into all these different albums. But maybe only one connects.
Which is like, it's important that when you meet somebody, we might quickly write them off. So that was the point I was trying to make there, is like we might write somebody off, but they're actually, if you spend some time with them, got past your initial judgment of them, and you're thinking, actually, this is a really cool person, and I'd like to get to know them more. And luckily, I took the time to just have some patience. And that's the same thing when we were creating content. When I was creating content for me, is I saw that I was going to write this off, but then I thought actually it worked out really well. Same thing. If you're single, you're going out, you might be somebody, you might just write them off, but who knows? They might be that thing that blows up, and be in a good way, you connect more and go deeper.
Yeah, there's a fine balance between writing somebody off and staying too long. I think and that's kind of what we've been finding, is that, even in this episode here, sort of feel the like, oh, when are we gonna end this episode? It's like, oh, shouldn't we ask another question, or should we have one more reflection or something like that? And
2 minutes 17 seconds we've got.
yeah.
That's when our account runs out.
Right.
That's our limit.
Yeah.
Well, should we end with like a nasty argument?
There you go. Yeah.
In a huff, and someone storms off of the
You mean
platform.
like, quit. You mean like have a tantrum?
Yeah. Have a tantrum.
Yeah.
You know who should have a tantrum? Ari. Yeah, because he's the like the least person to have a tantrum. I can't see him huffing and puffing and like having a spoiled brat reflex kind of reaction. Doesn't he? Just
but you can see me doing that apparently. So
oh yeah, I can see me and you. We'll be like fine at it. We'll be like two kids, and he'd be like the parent. All right, guys, have you calmed? I can remember this has been like in Mexico. He'd be like, "You two, just settle down."
Wait, that was me?
No, well, you're always the sensible one, the cool, the calm.
In Mexico, Chuck was the sensible.
I was the sensible one. How's that?
You didn't see him behind the scenes when you left, Ari.
No.
Oh,
he was on some yacht or something like that.
Oh yeah.
He was. He had his cool glasses on, girls around him,
women. Yeah.
No, I can lose my shit too, but it happens rarely, and only with people I feel safe with. So I think you guys earned it.
All right, let's close this off then.
All right. So don't bother liking or subscribing. But just
or comment or sharing.
Sharing, just don't bother doing any of that.
Okay, let's end this with a just take a moment and
group hug.
And a bug. And let's just take a moment and a group hug. All right.
Group hug.
And then share a piece of wisdom that you want them to leave with, if they've still watching this far. So just take a moment. What do you want to leave them with? What?
Okay.
Chuck.
How you measure success is important. That we can look at the stats and see that, in 3 years' time, we've have less than 1,000 subscribers. But we've also had hours and hours and hours together, the three of us talking and learning from each other. So I don't see this as a failure. I see it as a success. And I think that we should think about that when we're getting ready to end a relationship, that just because it's ending doesn't mean there wasn't some value in it. And I think that's the thing of like, we really need to extract the value out of the effort that we put into things as well. So, and there you go.
I love that. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not feeling I'm not feeling such a sense of loss because I know that our relationship, the three of us, is really solid. So I just I think it's important that we've really been protective of our relationship all along, relationships with each other, and that's been the highest value. Um, over audience metrics. So I feel really good about that, and yeah, I just feel really grateful. That's how I'm leaving.
I love that. Wonderful. Very connection focused. And then for me, the path is always going to be messy. It's never going to be smooth. It's never going to be as you want it, predicted. But the important thing is it's all the beautiful things the gifts that it will give you. They'll shape you. The people that you will come across, the people you'll meet. Those are the things that you're going to value. Those are the ones, not like Chuck said, it's not the metrics or anything like that. It's the who you become and who you walk with is such an important part of your life. So who you walk with. So walk with someone worthy of walking with. All right, guys, this has been the Nice Guy Show, the final episode. And take care.